Hey guys, it's Maddie, and since my birthday is coming up soon, I'm going to tell you the story of my 9th birthday disaster. Stay tuned. If any of you don't know me before, which you probably don't, I tell stories, I show you fashion, I do whatever I want. So if you like these kind of videos, then check me out. Anywho, let's get into the story. So when I was 9 years old, actually when I was a kid, I was very insecure about my parents' attention. Now, I was an only child, so only childs are used to getting their parents' attention all the time, So, technically, I didn't really have any siblings in the house with me as I grew up, so there was nobody to compete with, Now, I had this friend at the time. We were very good friends. We were best friends from, preschool, I want to say. So, yeah, I'm gonna call her Karma, okay? Because Karma. So, my 9th birthday was designed to be a sleepover outside in tents. We thought it was an amazing idea. We all thought it was an amazing idea. Now, of course, my parents, they're really strict, and they want to know what I'm doing at all times. So we had a big tent set up for all of us kids to sleep in, and across from that was my parents' tent, which was smaller, and it was just the two of them, so that none of us would just get out in the middle of the night and run away and never come back, Yeah. So basically, the party starts off with me and all my friends, Karma included. We're all hanging out, doing whatever. It was princess theme. Now, originally, when I was talking to my other little cousin, I'm going to call her Layla. That's not her actual name, but yeah, I'm going to call her Layla. She was coming too, and I told them to wear swimsuits because I thought we were going to have a pool, and I want a pool so much. That was my version of manifesting it into existence. So she shows up, she's wearing a swimsuit. There is no pool, so whatever. She runs in the tent, and she opens up the little doggy door and goes out, and everybody's laughing at her. And of course, 9-year-old me was kind of jealous. I was like, oh my gosh, she's ruining my party, how dare she? Which wasn't even what was going on. So yeah, so that happened. That was the first thing where I was just not good. So we were playing doctor, I guess, in the tent, and I was freaking out because my mom was taking pictures of people that weren't me. Sounds really vain, but that's what I was doing. I was like, oh my gosh, what? And I was so mad at her because she was not focusing on me for some reason. And so she's like, oh, do you want a picture, whatever? And I was like, no. And so there's this picture of me, which maybe I'll put it in here if I can find it and figure it out. So yeah, just picture me in my pigtails, my pink shirt on my 9th birthday doing this. So the next thing that happened was that everybody was after all the festivities were done, everybody was in the tent going to bed, falling asleep, Yeah. At that point, everybody else that were coming to give presents and all that stuff, they left, so it was just me and my friends. There's about 6 of us. There's me, my 2 cousins, my neighbor across the street, then 3-ish friends from school, I want to say, maybe more, give or take. So that's around 8-ish people. So we're all in the tent, and most people have fallen asleep, except for me and my cousin, my younger cousin, the one my age. So we were just sitting there, and I was in my little silk sleeping bag, closing my eyes, pretending to sleep, manifesting it into existence, if you will. So I was trying to do that, but I could not sleep. And so then my cousin, she bumps me, she's like, hey, Maddie, are you awake? I'm like, yes, how could I not be awake? I'm trying to sleep. She's like, yeah, me too. And we're but it's not working. And then she looks over to my other friend, we're gonna call her Mia, and she's like, I'm so angry at her. She has the sleep bug. How dare she? And I just remember her going she has a sleep bug and being so angry about it. The entire amount she repeated herself so much because of that. She was so angry about that. But yeah. So she was going on about that. And basically one primary reason why we couldn't sleep was because of the crickets. The crickets. Now, I'm not saying you know how you're sleeping and there's the little crickets outside and it's nice and silent. It wasn't that. It was a cricket came up right next to your ear and one just went off. It was they're having their own private little cricket party right in your ear. It was so loud, and so we couldn't sleep, and we're talking about it, and that's when my friend Karma comes up and she's like, yo, I'm afraid, I'm really, really afraid, I'm home, I'm not home and I want to be home, and I'm not home and I'm freaking out. And of course, because I was there and I was like, I don't know, I don't want you to leave, please, stay here, do whatever, what do you want? So we get out, we go across to my parents' teeny tiny little tent, and we wake her up, my mom, I'm saying. I'm like, hey mom, like she's like afraid, she like wants to like go home and I don't want her to go home, so like what are we gonna do about it? And I was like, okay, I can bring you upstairs, up to the house, I'll give you warm milk, read a story to you, you can sleep in there, it'll be fine. And of course, so Karma comes up, she's like, yo, like, I don't want to do this. We go up to my mom, they go upstairs, up the steps over to my house, you know? I'm kind of like, like, it's fine, like, she gets to sleep inside when nobody else does, but she's scared, so I guess I just want her to stay. So they go up there, me and my cousin go back into my tent. Everyone else is still sleeping. So we like undo the like tent to like look out, and we're like, when is Karma gonna get back? When is she gonna get back? Like, for some reason, I remember, like, because like it was like straight like across to where I could see like the door. And I remember because the door was open, so like there's just the screen type one, you know? Yeah. We're just like looking at it. I saw something that looked like a girl silhouette, but it was like blue and purple, and it was weird. I don't know if it was like ghostly or like a light trick, but it was like really weird, and like we both saw it, so that was weird. Anywho, we're like over there, and we're trying to fall asleep again, but of course, the crickets. They were so loud, like so loud. Like I've never heard crickets that loud before. And so eventually we just gave up sleeping on together, and we look at each other and we're like, hey, Karma's sleeping in the house where there's no crickets and it is nice and silent. Perfect. Maybe if my mom let her sleep up there, maybe she'll let us sleep up there. So we like walk all the way up there and we walk in, and I can't remember if Karma was sleeping on the couch or if she's awake, because that was a while ago, but Karma was there in some way, shape, or form, but not really relevant to like. So we go up there, I see my mom, and we're just like, hey, can we sleep up here? And my mom looks at us and goes, no. So now at that point we were like, but please, like, please let us sleep in there, like begging her. And she said, no. And then I just look at her and I'm like, but the crickets, man, the crickets. And she goes, no. Basically, her thought process was that a bunch of ragamuffins that are like 8 to 9 to 10-ish years old running around her living room wasn't something she wanted. But she didn't know that me, my cousin's primary reason for going up to the living room was so that we could sleep, because we couldn't sleep in the tent. So I'm like really excited for like a good 10 minutes, like, please, like, let us sleep up here, oh my gosh. And she's like, finally she caves. She's like, okay, fine, just be quiet, whatever. And I was like, yes, that's all I wanted was to sleep up here. Like, we promise you we'll be so silent, you'll think we're a mouse, you'll think we're statues. Like, all we wanted to do was go up there and sleep because the crickets. She's like, okay, it's like fine. So we go back, we grab our whatever we need, our sleeping bag, whatever, and we go back to the living room to sleep. At this point, it was me, my cousin, sitting on the living room floor, trying to sleep. Still uncomfortable, but no more crickets, so we were good. And my friend on the couch, Karma. 3 of us. 3 out of the 8 people that were sleeping over. Keep that in mind. Because what happens next, like 2 hours after we fell asleep, was rain. Rain. Keep in mind, only 3 of us were inside. It means everybody else in the tent were getting rained on. That's like 8 people. They were getting rained on, and it was like not just like a little sprinkle, it was like thunder, lightning, rain. It was awful. So then everybody woke up and they were like all groggy because they were getting wet and stuff. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to sleep. And then so everybody grabs their stuff, their sleeping bags, their bags, and they all walk up over into the house and into the living room. And we had like about all of us spread out on the ground, so like nobody could like walk without like stepping on one of us. So yeah, the one thing my mom didn't want to happen happened. Everybody sleeping in the living room, but it had happened, so because rain. And me and my cousin got no sleep. Karma was still there though, so that was good. But yeah, so that's how our night ended, and it was awful. And yeah, but I do think it was a fun story to tell. And looking back, it's just like so funny how like everything like spiraled into like terribleness, and that was awful at the time, but it wasn't that bad, you know? But yeah, it was just funny. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you if you watch this all the way through. Check out more of my videos if you want to. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.